Right, so I'm on the way to the gym as part of my 2-week challenge. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my video from last week. I'm going to be talking about a really important topic, and it's why do people lie about revision, particularly how much revision they actually do. I'll give you an example. Let's say you had a maths exam yesterday for your GCSEs or A-levels, and someone said they did no revision whatsoever. They end up getting a 9 or an A star. Now, it makes them seem really powerful, doesn't it? That they're just intellectually smart enough to not need to revise and still get a really good grade. And on the one hand, it might seem really stupid, but on the other hand, when you really think about it, it's just a form of bragging. I'm pretty sure it's the 20th law of power to conceal how much work you've done to make your achievements seem greater. But it's really important to acknowledge it because it might influence how much revision you're inclined to doing. And it's really important to remember that how much revision you need to do depends on you. There's 3 factors: how well you understand the topic, how much knowledge you have, and how well you can apply it. Now, how do you really tell how much revision you need to do? Well, considering these 3 factors, I would first think about the understanding of a subject. So, let's say for biology, you have transcription and translation, right? During the translation period, do you understand why 3 bases are needed to form a codon and therefore make a specific polypeptide chain? I don't know why I remember this. I don't do biology A level. This is my knowledge from GCSE. And if you have a good understanding of the subject, you'll just know if you have a good understanding. If you look at a subject and you're confident about it, that means you have a good understanding. That's how you tell that you have a good understanding. Oh, it started raining now. Yeah, so that's how you check for understanding. Next, you have knowledge. Knowledge, simply, it's how much you remember of a subject. So, put pen to paper and make a mind map around a specific topic and see how much you can remember. Normally, I'd say if you know about 90% of a specific topic within a subject, you should be confident with your knowledge. You can check your knowledge by using a textbook. Say this textbook has 1,000 words, it doesn't mean you need to have at least 900 words written on your mind map. You need to have 90% of the knowledge so that you can remember enough in an exam to write a really good piece. Now, the third part is application. Now, the best way to check for application is by doing past paper questions. I cannot stress you enough how important past paper questions are to get those grade 9s, A stars. You might remember or understand the topic really well, but you might not know what the examiner is really looking for. And you might not know how to apply that knowledge. How to take that concept and put it into words on a piece of paper. So, find some past paper questions, such as, for the STEM subjects, you can use Physics and Maths Tutor, you can use the past paper websites for specific exam boards, and you want to be getting at least 70-80% of those right. And the ones you don't get right, you should correct your answers with a green pen and look back at those. Why did you get those wrong? It could simply be you missed some specific subject terminology. Now, if it is that fact, that means the day before the exam, you simply go over your past paper again and you look at the notes you made in another pen. And that should tell you what subjects you're missing on. Oh, it's really boggy here. I'm going through like Timbuktu. So yeah, how much you need to revise should really come down to you. You don't finish revision when you think you finish revision, you finish it when it's done. When you know the subject, you understand the subject, and you can apply the subject. Now, the way I structure my revision, I don't say I need to spend 5 hours for econ, 5 hours for maths. I do it until I have these 3 different aspects sorted. So it might take more than 10 hours for some of my subjects, or it might take 2 hours for my other ones. I go through the 3-step process. First, understanding, then knowledge, and then application. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you know a subject really well, even though you don't. Just because some geezer called Steve told you he didn't revise for a maths test and he's getting an A star. I guarantee you that's incorrect. He's probably banging out 10-hour days before the exam. When someone tells you that they haven't revised, they're probably lying, unless it's your really close friend. Same thing with people telling you how they felt about an exam. Say you step out of the exam hall and you ask someone, how do you feel about the exam? They say, oh bro, I've absolutely cooked it. Guarantee you they're lying. They probably cooked in that exam. Unless it's your really close friend that you trust and he's really messed up the exam. They probably say that to make themselves feel better. Now there's a whole string of arguments why they do that. It's just simple psychology. But what you need to know is during exam season you don't let other people influence your revision schedule and how much you need to revise, because for every single person it's completely different. So remember one thing: you don't finish revision when you think you finished. You finish it when you understand the subject, when you know the subject, and when you can apply the subject.